It's Friday, May the 8th, 2026, and this is Denison Forum's Daily Article Podcast. I'm narrator Chris Elkins, giving voice to today's daily article written by Chief Vision Officer and Cultural Theologian, Dr. Jim Denison. Hantaviruses, named after a river in South Korea, are a family of more than 20 different viral species. Almost all are linked to infection by rodents, typically rats and mice, through dried urine and droppings. One strain, however, known as the hantavirus, is thought to spread by human-to-human transmission, although rarely. In late 2018, an outbreak in Argentina was traced back to a single person who is thought to have unwittingly spread it to 34 confirmed cases with 11 deaths. I'm sure you know a cruise ship called MV Hondius has made headlines this week because of another suspected hantavirus outbreak on board that has killed 3 people so far and made several others very sick. Health officials in at least a dozen countries are now monitoring dozens of passengers who disembarked from the ship before the outbreak was fully understood. At least 7 of them are Americans who returned home. Should you be worried? Since hantavirus is difficult for humans to transmit, one health official assured us, quote, "There's no need for a concern over a global outbreak." According to another, there's really no risk to anyone who was not on that ship. But in a metaphorical sense, we're all on that ship. From Ted Turner's death to Jeffrey Epstein's possible suicide note to tornadoes that devastated southern Mississippi and a deadly volcano eruption, mortality is in the headlines today. And it will be again tomorrow. Here's why this news is not such bad news for believers. The Washington Post reported this week on a promising new depression therapy that focuses on finding paths to joy. The article notes that while depression treatments seek mostly to decrease negative emotions, a recent study found that increasing positive ones might be more effective. Positive affect treatment, or PAT, is designed to help people find more meaning, connection, and joy in their lives. Patients are taught a variety of skills that boost mood, such as introducing positive activities into their lives and focusing on their enjoyment of these experiences. Clinical trials indicate that this can help people change the neural pathways in their brains to feel more positive emotions and less negative ones. Let's utilize this approach in a spiritual context. Evil and suffering are typically considered the greatest impediments to faith in an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving God. But there are positive ways of reframing the issue. Suffering invites Christians to believe in the God who comforts us in all our affliction, according to the first part of 2 Corinthians 1, verse 4. Seek to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God in the remainder of that verse. As well, suffering invites Christians to endeavor to remain steadfast under trial, knowing that we will then receive the crown of life promised in James 1, verse 12. And from Romans 8, verse 18, remember that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us. But there is a very big catch. In American sociologist Philip Reif's book, The Triumph of the Therapeutic, Uses of Faith After Freud, he showed us that our culture has shifted from a society built on shared moral commitments to one focused on psychological self-actualization and personal happiness. In such a mindset, you are reading this article to feel better about yourself and your day, to find a word of hope and help you as you navigate your life. But what you and I need far more than encouraging words about God is a transforming daily experience with Him. I cannot overstate how important I think this is. Every major world religion in human history invites its followers to believe the teachings of its long-deceased founder and apply them to their lives in the therapeutic hope that they will profit in doing so. By contrast, Christianity declares that our founder is still alive and active in our world today as when he launched our faith. We believe from Romans 8, verse 34, that he is right now praying for us, forgiving all we confess to him, noted in Luke 5, verse 20, and referenced in 1 John 1, verse 9. He's speaking to us by his indwelling spirit, announced in John 16:13, and giving us grace to help in time of need, promised in Hebrews 4, verse 16. Now he wants us to trust our suffering to him as he trusted his suffering to his Father with his prayer in Matthew 26, verse 39, "Not as I will, but as you will." When we do, something extraordinary happens. We commit ourselves unconditionally to Jesus just as he commits himself unconditionally to us. Think about it. What can you do for the King of Kings and Lord of Lords revealed in Revelation 19, verse 16? What do you have that he does not have? What can you do better than he can? Your Father does not love you for what you can do for him. He loves you because you're his. He loves you when you disappoint him and frustrate him. He loves you when you don't do what he wants you to do and do what he doesn't want you to do. Suffering presents us with a unique opportunity to love our Lord in precisely the same way. Not for what he can do for us, but for who he is. Not for our good, but for his glory. When we trust Jesus, even when he disappoints us, and obey him even if we don't want to, we reciprocate his unconditional love for us. The 11th century's Saint Bernard of Clairvaux observed, quote, "The reason for our loving God is God," end quote. Why do you love God today? We're grateful for our podcast listeners. If you find the Daily Article podcast helps you better understand today's news and cultural issues and then respond biblically, please rate and review the Daily Article podcast on the platform from which you subscribe. That helps people find and follow the Daily Article podcast.